I've been thinking about this, and I think now any move the FBI makes, they're being watched with a microscope. Every little thing they do. And who are they on trial with? They're on trial with you, the public. Genius move, in my opinion, by Trump and Elon. Who was seen with Elon recently? None else than Jared Kushner. That should tell you something. Trump cards being played, folks. Trump cards being played. Now, the deep state is in quicksand. They don't know what to do. What do? It's aired out. The Twitter drops keep coming. They keep coming, and more to come. They're now exposed to the entire world. We all know now. Actually, I always knew. But for the normies are catching up. All the while, though, our southern border is being invaded. You go to the El Paso airport, and it's like a homeless shelter. It stinks. It's disgusting. It's in your face. So they're still making their moves. The deep state's still making their moves, but it's exposed. And that's what this was all about with Twitter. Spotify, Nino's Corner. Telegram is Nino's Corner. Telegram, there's a lot of spam on my Telegram, and I try to knock it off when I can, but it just keeps coming. So Getter is Nino's Corner. Rumble is Nino's Corner. Truth Social is David Rodriguez Boxer. Instagram is David Nino Rodriguez Boxer. David Nino Rodriguez Boxer. It's long. Twitter, Nino Boxer. And Patriotware. Bing! Right there. Good Christmas gifts, folks. Good Christmas gifts. Get yourself a Sancho red Christmas sweater. A red Christmas sweater. Sancho comes down your chimney to fuck your wife. So a lot of stuff on patriotware.com. I got ninoscorner.tv is fucking fire. I did raise the price $1. Some of you seem to have a problem with that. My usage fees are cutting into everything. It's insane. Because a lot of you like to binge watch my stuff. That's fine. I've been told by my tech team, man, you got to just keep 3 or 4 videos up at a time. Don't let them binge watch. I don't do that. I take the fucking hit, but I had to hire it $1, just $1. So Nino's, sorry, Axel, what's wrong, buddy? You all right? I love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Axel's looking at me like his master has gone crazy. So ninoscorner.tv is on fire. I got 107. I got General McInerney today. General McInerney. I'm going to put on my Telegram right after this. In fact, I'm going to put it on there right now for any questions for McInerney. Any questions for General McInerney. All right, folks, go to my Telegram right now. Damn it. Why did I misspell general? Okay, it's up right now, folks. It is up right now on Telegram. Put your questions below. He's an old dog of the military, a good friend of mine. I love General Tom McInerney. So he's going to be on ninoscorner.tv. I got Garrett Ziegler, the White House staffer who Jack Maxey called out. So I'm going to get Garrett Ziegler's response from Jack Maxey, and that will be on ninoscorner.tv. So who do you believe here, folks? I'm leaving it up to you. I'm leaving it completely up to you. I got Wayne Jett. Wayne Jett. Wayne Jett. Wayne Jett's coming on Nino's Corner. I got Lloyd Brunson with the Supreme Court case. He's coming on. He's going to give us an update on what's going on. I'm going to have him a couple times. I'm going to have him probably on before January 6th and after to give us the updates on what's going on. You'll find it at ninoscorner.tv. I got Daniel Brinkley, the guy that's been struck by lightning twice. Who has been struck by lightning even once? This guy's been struck twice. NDE, ex-CIA. And I got to tell you, folks, he knows a lot about what's going on. I'm privileged to have someone with such a beautiful heart as Daniel Brinkley to come on my show. Kerry Cassidy is also coming on, and the Ghost is coming on. Everyone loves the Ghost. He's reappearing. He's reappearing on ninoscorner.tv. And without further ado, how do you guys like El Toro? The bull. Oh. Coming at you live from the apocalypse, folks. The black sheep of broadcasting is here. Oh, yeah. And I'm going to have shirts made on patriotwear.com of the black sheep of broadcasting. BSB. Black sheep of broadcasting. I figured there's no better way to really identify me, or best way to explain myself would be that, because I don't do what other people say. Oh, you shouldn't have this guest on. You shouldn't have that guest on. I've noticed that everyone who tells me that are Christians. You guys judge more than anybody. Who he had sexual assault on his record. He's a bad guy. Did Jesus not hang out with those people? I don't judge anybody. That's between that man and God, not me. I don't judge. I have a fucked up background too. I don't judge anybody. Unless you're a pederast. But okay. Folks, the FBI is under scrutiny. The three-letter agencies are weaponized. It's obvious. Trump is showing you that with the Trump cards. And I think now it's going to be I know Juanito's come on here and said, look for a Trump arrest, but I think now it's going to be real hard to pull that off. I don't know how they're going to do it. And Trump was taunting them. We know that. Trump was taunting them. So much so that he cut all his bushes down in his estate at Mar-a-Lago to say, come on, let's go. Come get me. They're not moving. They're not moving, are they? They're like stuck. And the longer they don't make a decision, they get sunk in quicksand. Everything that's coming out with Twitter right now, I believe is the next part of this phase of the operation. I think the next phase will be to take out the secondary deep state. And when I say secondary deep state, I'm talking about the rhinos, the people you trusted in the Patriot movement. I don't know. I really don't know who they are. There's a lot of people that come on my show and say, it's this guy and that guy and this guy and that guy. Okay, I don't know. I really don't know. My guess is as good as yours. But I will say this. Anybody telling you that they have intel, that they have secret intel, that they get calls from the white hats, and they have these calls, and they go on the internet to have diarrhea of the mouth, they're lying to you. Stop watching them. They're fucking lying to you. Nobody has intel. The people that I bring on my ninoscorner.tv, those people are highly, highly researched, and at best, they just have educated guesses. The only ones that I could say have any kind of, experience maybe would be Juan. He's in the sphere. He understands what's going on. He understands the plays. And the ghost. I don't know anybody else. And that's just, and folks, I'm on calls all day long with these people. I talk to Joe Flynn. I talk to Jack Maxey. I talk to Bannon. I talk to 107. I talk to a lot of people, folks, and I make up my own mind because I'm the black sheep of broadcasting, and I do what the fuck I want to do. That's why a lot of you watch me. I just got to say, anybody telling you that they have fucking intel, they're lying to their ass. They might as well get on camera, spread their ass open, and fart. They're lying. They're lying. They're fucking lying to you. Nobody has intel. Nobody. I think I like to have S.G. Annan on because I think he's very researched. I think Derek Johnson knows some of his stuff. He identifies the comms. But everyone is just a bit in a piece to try to put this picture together. And that's what I try to do on ninoscorner.tv is put it together for you. You're adults. You make up your own mind in your own opinion. I lay it out for you all to play it out. So the Trump card to me, folks, is Trump basically playing in my opinion, playing the big dick contest. And he's basically swinging it around saying, how you like me now? Oh, by the way, buy some Trump cards. You got to admire this guy because he's got them right where he wants them. And now they're going to be forced. And any move they make now, they're under the microscope. They're stuck. They're fucked. They're going to keep exposing themselves, making it worse for them and worse and worse. They have no choice but to move forward in arrogance. And guess what? We're all watching them. We're all looking. We're all seeing what they're going to do. You don't know how genius this is. Trump has managed. He was the guy who was picked, whatever you want to think, that they got on board to bring the public on board, to bring the public this mass awakening. He was the igniter. Whether you love him or you hate him, you're watching. Whether you follow it or not, that letter in the alphabet. When I do this, you all know what I'm doing. That letter in the alphabet always talked about the Trump cards coming. Always talked about them being played. Another way to look at this, and there's multiple things here. Another way to look at these Trump cards is because DeSantis is going to start coming out. And I think DeSantis is going to be used to start fumigating or start smoking out the secondary deep state. The secondary deep state, which is a lot of Republicans, a lot of the people that you think are on their side. That's what DeSantis is going to be used for. I think he's going to be like one of the last phases of this operation. And what I think he's going to be used for is to smoke out the secondary deep state. People that get behind him, the donors, this, that. That's what we're looking for in this next phase. And I think these Trump cards also are a way for Trump to give the illusion. I don't want to say illusion because I do believe he's a very strong man, but youthful appearance back with being a superhero, being a boxer, being all these Trump cards show him in a position of power, in a superhuman kind of essence. And I think that's why, because DeSantis, when he comes out and starts talking about how Trump is old and he's weak and he's done, we already had a weak president. We already had an old president. Did you get a Trump card with him on the fucking lightning coming out of his eyes and shit? It's to put forth that he's strong. Give him an image of strength. Do I make sense? Do I make sense here? I'll give you a thumbs up if I make sense, because that you have to persuade the public to believe you're strong. And that is a way, that's another way Trump is doing this. That's another way he's maneuvering. So, because I'm telling you, DeSantis, thank you. DeSantis is come out and say he's old, he's this, he's that. I'm telling you. And folks, I've said I'll go all the way with you to 2024 if it goes that direction. I don't see how the fuck it can. I don't see how it can. But hey, I'm here with you till the end. And even though I'm going to be frustrated and pissed off that it goes any further, the fact that it's gone this far, I thought I'd be on the beach. Well, I guess I don't drink anymore, so I can't say I'd be sipping a margarita, but I'd be drinking a bottled water. Fuck, that just sounds so lame. I'm going to be 3 years sober the 26th of this month. 3 fucking years. 3 years. I've gone to bars and said hello to some people, but 3 years sober? 3 fucking years sober? That's not good for Sancho. What's weird about being sober is that you see everything in a different lens on what alcohol is really doing to humanity, how it's one of the ways it dumbs down society and clouds your aura, lowers your frequency, keeps you dumbed down with the rest of society. And I'm not taking away from anybody that drinks, because I was a big drinker. I was the biggest. I'm just saying you tend to see things in a different light. But being sober and just taking life in the fucking gut and in the face every day is hard. It's not easy, folks. It's not right now. In these shows, I would not, because over, or I'd be like, I can just go get a drink. I don't feel like doing a show. I'm going to go have a drink. You get what I'm laying down here, folks? You guys, all of you, are keeping me sober. You're doing more for me. You're doing just as much for me than what I'm doing for you. And that's not a lie. In other words, I come on here and I give you the updates and I tell you the news the way I see it. By you joining and being on here and giving them my Venmo and keeping me breathing and giving me a purpose, you are keeping me sober. Thank you. It's still hard, but I just got to say thank you, because I have every desire to go back in the bar and get hammered, get swammered, get fucked up, get Pelosi'd. All right. Oh, all right. So the Trump card sold out in a record time. I believe it was like 12 hours. So he must have made, they were selling for like $99, about $4 million or more dollars he made. I don't know. Now Democrats have no choice. This is what's great. Here in El Paso, the mayor, liberal fucking retard, is having to adopt. See, the reason they don't want to do these things like a national emergency or what, the reason they don't want to do it is because they're proving Trump right. They're saying, oh, fuck. Yeah, I guess Trump was right. We got to declare national emergency. That's why they're so hesitant. It's their arrogance. They're like, oh, and especially if you're Mexican, it's like, oh, your machismo gets sucked out of you. That's what it is. So now the reason they were so hesitant on it is, oh, shit, we can't prove Trump right. We can't prove that Trump was right, but they are doing it. So basically, in essence, what they're doing right now is showing Trump was right all along. So now Democrats are having no choice but to adopt Trump policies like a state emergency and prove Trump was right the entire time. So Democrats are eating crow. They're eating crow. The Twitter files are declaring border emergencies. So while they're being exposed, they're having to declare border emergencies, national emergencies, as they be exposed on Twitter. So breaking report, El Paso Mayor Oscar Leeser declares state of emergency amid surge of illegal aliens. I don't know where the state of emergency is. I don't know if anything's happening. I don't know about the Greg Abbott enacting the clause for invasion, because let me tell you, folks, it's so fucking bad here. You go to the El Paso airport and they're bathing in the bathrooms and the sinks. It smells like a fucking homeless shelter. It's in your face. It's basically just in your face, like, fuck you. We're bringing everybody in and you're paying for it. You're paying for it. Here's an article from October. This is in October, okay, all the way back in October. And it makes sense, and it makes sense now that he hesitated for so long, because he's a Biden puppet. So, and I'm sure it's linked to Escobar, Veronica Escobar, and everyone here, all the Democrat here in El Paso. Illegal border crossing spike in El Paso. Mayor says White House asked him not to declare a disaster. Border Patrol agents in the area of El Paso have apprehended more than 38,500 illegal immigrants in the 21 days since October 1st. This is in October, averaging almost 13,000 per week, according to Provisional Customs. Border is a mess. The next part of the White Hat operation, I believe, is the Twitter files part 6. I don't know. Are they on a part 7 now? Because when I did this, it was a part 6. The FBI subsidiary. So the Twitter files are revealing more every day about how the government collects, analyzes, and flags their social media content. Twitter's contact with the FBI was constant and pervasive, as if it were subsidiary. Between January 2020 and November 2022, there were over 150 emails between the FBI and former Twitter trust and safety chief Yoel Roth. Some are mundane, like a San Francisco agent, Elvis Chan, wishing Roth a Happy New Year, along with a reminder to attend the quarterly call next week. Others are requests for information into Twitter users related to active investigation. It's all coming out. It's all coming out. Breaking report, FBI to be issued subpoenas following Twitter files release exposing social media ties. And folks, I have family in the FBI, okay? I have family. I have, my whole family was police and FBI. My uncle was chief of police in El Paso. Bill Rodriguez was the chief of police in El Paso. My family's deep in law enforcement, and I have cousins. My cousin Pogo was a small arms specialist in the FBI. I have a lot of family in the FBI. So there are good people trapped in a bad system. Good people trapped in a bad system. I have friends that are Mormons. Best friends. My buddy Christian and his brother are FBI agents, and they're good friends of mine. So I do know people in the FBI, and I have family in the FBI, and I'm not putting them down. I am just saying they're good people trapped in a bad system. I don't think, it's the same thing as like when we were saying, defund the police. Not all policemen are dicks. Maybe getting that ticket when you're speeding is saving your life because you might hurt somebody or hurt yourself. So I am not against the FBI, and I'm not against the police in any means. And I'm not saying to have any violence towards them in any way. They're good. A lot of them are very good people. And I got to clarify that. There's just bad people at the top that need to be looked at and get to the bottom of this. But by no means am I saying anybody in the FBI is bad. I have family and friends in the FBI. And I'm telling you right now, folks, I still believe they should be given respect. And that's just how I see it. All right. Bad people trapped in good people. Look at me. Good people trapped in a bad system. Elon Musk Twitter suspends controversial Washington Post journalist Taylor Lorenzo, is it? So Elon Musk's Twitter on Saturday evening suspended controversial Washington Post journalist Taylor Lorenz. I guess it's just Lorenz. After he reinstated several other corporate news reporters for allegedly violating the company's policy against doxing. Folks, doxing's bad. Doxing is bad. I can see why you would suspend somebody for that. On Substack, Lorenz claimed that Musk, who took over Twitter in October, personally suspended her account. Earlier tonight, Elon Musk suspended my Twitter account, Lorenz wrote in a brief post on the platform. Was she the one that took a picture of his license plate or something like that outside of a building? I don't know. I saw something like that. My Nino Knights, check that out. Check it out. Do you guys like the bull? The bull. El Toro. I was going to wear my black sheep of broadcasting today. I have a black sheep about, but that's it, folks. Black sheep of broadcasting coming at you live from the apocalypse, baby. Oh, yeah. All right. New censorship programs. Here they come. New censorship programs aim to control public information. Democrats file to block Trump's presidency. So, new censorship programs are being rolled out globally to control the flow of information and create a state-run. Sounds like China. Create a state-run propaganda. This includes new revelations in the United States that the FBI, DHS, and other agencies colluded with Twitter to censor content on the platform, as well as programs that are meant for correcting false beliefs. And in Europe and elsewhere, people are now facing prison sentences for going against state-run information campaigns. Are you fucking kidding me? So this is what they're trying to do. So now they're in desperate mode, folks. Twitter drops, everything's coming out. They don't know what they're panicking. So what do? What does control and power want to do? Squeeze tighter, squeeze tighter, squeeze tighter, squeeze tighter. It's kind of like an ex-girlfriend who can't let go. Meanwhile, former President Donald Trump recently unveiled part of his political platform for his 2024 run. Soon after, Democrats introduced a new legislation that will attempt to forbid. They're so scared of this guy. They are so scared of this. Forbid Trump from holding public office ever again. This is on the grounds that he allegedly engaged in an insurrection against the United States and allegedly broke his oath of office. So they're going full retard. They don't care that you're watching them either. Look at everything they're doing. We're all just sitting there like gasping for air, like with our jaws dropped to the floor going, wow, really? This is how, see, they're so used to doing this in the dark. They were so used to doing this in darkness and deceit, and now it's wide open. Everyone's watching. Everyone's looking at them. I'm telling you right now, you're saying, what about this person? What about that person? Nobody has intel. I've learned that, folks. I've been in this 2.5 years or so, almost 3 years. 3 years since I've been sober. No one has intel. Nobody I've come across. The only people that are in the sphere of this is like Juan, okay? Juan, the ghost. And you guys make up your mind about them. And then there's people that can recognize comms like Derek. There's SG Anon, who's a highly sophisticated researcher. But other than that, I have people like David Snedeker on who talk about that letter in the alphabet. No outside comms. He's said this many times. No outside comms. But we can guess and we can troubleshoot. And I'm going to put a tier on ninoscorner.tv. A lot of you are going to love this. It's going to be called the General's Tent, where you come in with me once a month. It's a new tier I'm putting on ninoscorner.tv where you come in with me once a month and we talk with, we troubleshoot with people like General McInerney, Juan O'Savin, the Ghost, and we talk about current events and troubleshoot together, and he takes questions from you. That's going to be on ninoscorner.tv. Rumors are swirling that Donald Trump's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, has emerged as Elon Musk's pick for Twitter CEO. Also, controversial billionaire Elon Musk, the new owner of Twitter, was spotted enjoying the World Cup final in Qatar alongside Jared Kushner, son-in-law from President Donald Trump. So what's going on there? You all figure it out. I think it's pretty obvious. So Democrats introduced bill to bar Trump from ever holding office again. 41 Democrats introduced legislation to ban former President Donald Trump from ever holding federal office again. Why? Because they're scared. Why? Because they can go to jail. Okay? They can't stop this guy. I'm telling you now, they're not going to stop this guy. So David Cicilline, a senior member of the House Committee on Judiciary and former impeachment manager, authored the legislation. In the bill, Cicilline argues that January 6th riot was an insurrection, disqualifying Trump from ever holding office again. A press release from Cicilline's office read, Donald Trump very clearly engaged in an insurrection on January 6, 2021, with the intention of overturning the lawful, you know how they put these words in there, the lawful, highly debunked, you know, that kind of shit, results of the you know what. And I don't want to go into it here. You don't get to lead a government you try to destroy. You see how fucking desperate these people are? How pathetic this is? Those of you who are awake, a lot of the normies are just coming on right now. But they're just coming on board right now with the Twitter files being dumped. But the people, I commend any of you that have been awake for the last 3 years, that saw right through this bullshit, every ounce of it. I commend you. Give yourself a pat on the back. You're ahead of the curve. You're a black sheep. Black sheep of broadcasting. That's it. Boom! Stamp it, bitch. All right. January 6th panel to vote on urging DOJ to prosecute Trump on at least 3 criminal charges. So the January 6th Select Committee is preparing to vote on urging the Justice Department to pursue at least 3 criminal charges against former President Donald Trump, including insurrection. The report that the Select panel is expected to consider on Monday afternoon, described by two people familiar with its contents, reflects some recommendations from a subcommittee that evaluated potential criminal referrals. Among the charges that subcommittee proposes for Trump: 18 U.S.C. 2383 insurrection, 18 U.S.C. 1512 obstruction of an official proceeding, and 18 U.S.C. 371 conspiracy to defraud the United States government. It's unclear whether the Select Committee's final report will recommend additional charges for Trump beyond the 3 described to political, or whether it will urge other criminal charges for other players in Trump's bid to subvert the you-know-what. All right, folks, you give me your opinion. You think this guy's going to get arrested? I don't. I think they're under such a microscope now. If they do, it's just going to look that much worse on them. But if it's a panic move they play, what do you think? Give me your opinions here. Yes, no, yes, no. Do you think Trump's going to be arrested? No. I don't know. A small Twitter user, I don't know what they would deem as small. A small Twitter user exposes Ron DeSantis' potential neocon baggage. Is he another Bush McCain? I'm saying he absolutely is. Okay? You've heard it from me for over 2 years. DeSantis is no bueno. No bueno. This is concerning for the future of the Republic. Congressman Ron DeSantis was very upset about Trump being very positive about Putin, wanted more lethal aids for Ukraine. Right now, people are still suffering. So if he's backing that rhetoric, what do you think, folks? What do you think? Those of us who know what's really going on in Europe. And he's backing the UK. If he's backing Zelensky, come on! Wake up! For those of you who may say that was from years ago, this was from him this year calling Putin a gas station attendant while being just a governor. Imagine what he would do if he became the president. You know what he would do? War. War. That's what DeSantis would do. He'd be the warmonger. Now, that's my opinion. It's my opinion. He's also a strong advocate for military ops in Afghanistan. Said, we need to use everything in our arsenal. Trump, however, made a concrete plan to get troops out of there, though the evacuation was poorly executed by Biden. Trump is not a warmonger. Can't say the same for Lil D, DeSantis. Folks, I bring the news to you the way it should be brought, blunt and in your face, and you decide. Here's where I get confused, and I'm going to call him up and see what the fuck's going on. Steve Bannon, and I love Steve Bannon. I think he's done some great things. He's a patriot, but I'm a little confused here. Steve Bannon touts Ron DeSantis after expressing frustration with Trump. So maybe he did it out of frustration with Trump. We all say shit we don't mean. I hope that's the case. Steve Bannon praised Florida Governor Ron DeSantis on Saturday for moving to the right of Donald Trump after voicing frustration with the former president in recent weeks. Steve, what's going on here, Steve? What's going on? You're getting me worried. DeSantis is considered one of Trump's top potential opponents in 2024 Republican presidential primary. Unlike Trump, DeSantis has not formally announced plans to run, but polls find strong support for him among conservative voters, suggesting I can't even read this. He could be cutting into Trump's base as the ex-president's campaign flounders. Trump has been hit with a myriad of controversies in recent weeks, and they're throwing so Trump's been hit with a myriad of controversies. Gee, where are the controversies coming from? Who's throwing them at him? They're like obstacles at an obstacle course. Here's this hurdle. Here's that hurdle. Here's this rope climb. Here's this obstacle. Here's this obstacle. They're throwing it. It's not coming from him. It's coming from them. They own the media. They own the government. They own everything. Hello? And your dumb fuck friends are watching this going, gee, there's just too much controversy around him. Gee, I wonder why. Wake up! They're scared of this guy. That's why he's my guy. Yeah. Klaus Schwab in Klaus Schwab news. Wow. Klaus Schwab at the G20 Bali Summit. Klaus Schwab instructed hands of government, almost all coming from the young global leaders. We're all part of the young global leaders. Anybody part of the World Economic Forum in America running for politics? That's all you got to do, folks. Look them up. Oh, boy. For the Tomorrow program of the World Economic Forum, about the future steps to be taken in view of establishing a world government. That sounds so promising, a world government. That sounds awesome. Klaus Schwab. Speaking of global leaders, let's talk about Governor Rep. Dan Crenshaw. Says it's crazy that Republicans put forward two 25-year-olds to be our nominees in the midterms. We lost races we easily should have won. Dan Crenshaw. Republican Representative Dan Crenshaw critiques some of the GOP candidates tapped to run for office in 2022. We selected two 25-year-olds to be our nominees. That's batshit crazy. Nah, you're batshit evil. Okay, that's what's real. Crenshaw told Political GOP voters nominated Caroline Levy, 25, and Bo Hines, 27, in two key House districts, both lost. You know, I was in a very dishonest sport, boxing, but it's also the most honest sport. Because no matter if the promoters controlled the fights, no matter if the judges leaned a certain way, I could still go in there and knock the motherfucker out. And I was in a I felt like I was a good guy in a bad system. So I knew everyone's like, get the work. You know, there's only twice in my career that I listened to my trainers and boxed them to get the rounds in and carried the fighters. And I'll state it publicly right now. Marcus McGee, you're right. You came up to me after the fight and you said I didn't give you my best. And you're right. I didn't. I carried you. And I looked really shitty doing it. But at least I could knock motherfuckers out, and I would do it every time because why? If I could go home early, I was going home early. In politics, you don't have that option. In politics, there is not that option. You have to, everyone in politics, what runs the world is power and fucking greed. And all these politicians are whores. They're whores. They slut themselves out for whoever pays them the monies. The monies. Whoever gives them the monies. Our system is fucked. There will be no justice in this system. Our government is completely captured. My opinion, that's it. Put it to bed. And they've infiltrated us to a level that they take everything to lawfare now as well. Everything goes into the legal system that they control and they own. And they control the prison systems. They control it all. Oh, man. I want to get Rick Ross on my show because I want to I've met him a couple times in Ruidoso, New Mexico at the fights. And Rick Ross, he talks about how hip-hop was a CIA concoction. And he goes into it, the drug business, the hip-hop, all of it, folks, all of it. So when you saw, like in my day in the NWA, Eazy-E, all them, was that really a CIA concoction? I mean, that just blows my mind, but I don't doubt it. Some people even say the Doors, that band The Doors was a CIA concoction. I mean, there's some shit I'm going to get really deep into on ninoscorner.tv, so it's about to be lit on ninoscorner.tv. I'm going to get into all of it. I'm going to leave no stone unturned. No stone unturned. Just in, FBI, DHS, U.S. state agencies, and government-affiliated think tanks collude with Twitter to censor content on their platform. You don't say. New Twitter files show FBI flagging accounts for companies to punish. So emails from the FBI to Twitter released on December 16th showed Bureau officials flagging specific people for Twitter to take action against. The latest of documents that bolster evidence of that government and big tech have been colluded to censor Americans. In one missive dated November 3rd, FBI officials flagged 25 accounts, including one of the media outlet Right Side Broadcasting Network that had created posts that may warrant additional action due to the accounts being utilized to spread misinformation. I had a friend, Alfredo Luna, that you guys may see, Alpha Warrior, and he came on my show because the FBI came to his house. I think they swatted his ass because Twitter posts. I'll bring him on the show again so we can talk more about that. So that's what I understand. So Christina Bob tweets, you have a whistleblower from Rumbeck, the ballot. Oh, wait, okay. All right. I don't know if I should have put this in here, but it's talking about the bank robbery. I'm just going to leave that out. Sorry, folks. I can't talk about that on here because I got to stay on the town square with the normies. Let's go to border news. Yeah, there's some stuff here I don't want to talk about. Border news. U.S. judge in Amarillo, Texas. Amarillo, Texas. Ding, 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 ding. All right. U.S. judge in Amarillo. That's what I think of when I drive through Amarillo or Lubbock. Like I feel like some hillbillies playing spoons. I don't know. All right. Sorry for that outburst. All right. Why don't you want to talk about it? Isn't that why you keep talking about giving the truth? Because there's certain things that if I say on here, you can get a strong. Oh, God. Do I have to really explain this to you? Do I have to really explain this to you? All right. U.S. judge in Amarillo hits Biden administration's attempt to end Remain in Mexico policy. So a judge tried to do the right thing. The Biden administration stopped enrolling new asylum seekers into the Trump-era program in August. A federal judge in Texas paused the Biden administration's attempt to end the Trump-era Remain in Mexico program, which requires some non-Mexican asylum seekers to be sent back to the country to await immigration proceedings. U.S. District Judge Matthew, I don't know how to say his last name, Kaczmarek, on Thursday issued a stay on the administration's effort to terminate that policy while Texas and Missouri's attempts to force federal government to continue the program are considered in court. The Department of Homeland Security in August stopped enrolling new asylum seekers into the program, which had been halted and restarted for years due to legal challenges and in change of administration. So, they're coming to America. Oh, yeah. They're coming to America. They're coming. Oh, yeah, they're coming. They're already here. I don't even know what this invasion clause is doing. I don't fucking know. I don't know. There's no Border Patrol to be seen anywhere. They're all at the processing centers, just letting these. Look, Border Patrol now is an Uber service. Anybody, let's start. Who wants to get in business with me and do the shuttle business? Let's start a shuttle service. Let's shuttle Mexicans to wherever they want to go. Let's start a mariachi band on the shuttle services. All right. Appeals court rejects bid by GOP-led states to keep Title 42 border policy in force. A federal appeals court on Friday rejected a bid by several Republican-led states to keep this so-called Title 42 rule in force after district court struck the controversial Trump-era border policy down. The new ruling from the D.C. Circuit U.S. Court of Appeals sets the stage for the case to go to the Supreme Court. The Biden administration is set to stop enforcing Title 42, which allows for the expulsion of migrants at the U.S.-Mexico border on Wednesday. It's coming. Wednesday. A couple days away. 1 day away. Wednesday. The Republican-led states previously indicated that if the appeals court ruled against them, they'd seek the intervention of the Supreme. So how does this work with, maybe some of you know, how does this work with a national emergency that's been declared? So this is all like hypocrisy here. I don't understand how any of this works. An invasion clause is enacted by Gabbett, a national emergency by Oscar Leeser, who was pushed into that. But Title 42 is going to end so they can all come here. How does any of this work? I don't get it. Do you all get it? Do you understand this shit? Because I don't. And I'll be the first to admit it. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. So which one are we following here? The invasion, the Title 42, the national emergency? Which one? Or is it just up to the Democrats to just do whatever the fuck they want to do? Because that's what it seems like. To me, it seems like they're just going, fuck it. We're not listening. We're not listening to nobody knows what's going on. Just keep bringing them over. Keep bringing them over. That's really what I see happening here. A hostile takeover, and they're just like, fuck it. Just keep bringing them in. We don't have to, nobody knows what's going on. Nobody's even paying attention. Nobody even gives a fuck. Just keep bringing them over. Just keep bringing them over. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that's what it is? Am I talking to myself? Am I? That's not something that's something I'm used to. I talk to myself quite a bit. Sometimes I get in front of the mirror and I have conversations with myself. Okay, not sure. Yeah. All right. So Texas reaches deals with private landowners, will resume construction of border wall. Really? I didn't see that. I mean, Texas reaches deals with private landowners, will resume. These guys that own ranches and have a lot of land are dealing with a lot of shit. I'm telling you that right now.